Well, good afternoon, and thank you for being here on short notice. On Friday afternoon, I met with Coach Patterson and informed her of the president and my decision to relieve her of her duties as head women's basketball coach. As you can imagine, this was an incredibly difficult decision to make. I have great appreciation for Coach Patterson, both as a person and a coach, and want to offer our thanks for her service here. We have a tremendous commitment to success in women's basketball at K-State. We have a championship tradition, including ranking as one of the 15 winningest programs in women's basketball history. We have fan support that annually ranks among the top 30 in America, and we have a state-of-the-art basketball training facility that I believe is one of the very best in all of women's college basketball. As we went through the evaluative process, I just felt that we were not on a trajectory to get back to the level of achievement that we have experienced in our history, and that it was time for new leadership in our program. We will conduct a national search focused on candidates whose personal values and integrity reflect those of our university and the citizens of the state of Kansas. People who appreciate the opportunity of being part of a special basketball tradition, who understand the advantages of Manhattan and K-State, and who have proven themselves as game coaches, evaluators, and recruiters. In the interim period, I am grateful to Associate Head Coach Cammie Etheridge, who will take over the day-to-day operation of the program. And I'll be happy to take any questions.
Josh Ginder, Manhattan Mercury. Any fear with such a young roster of losing these kids when you have 8 players that are either freshmen or sophomores? Sure,
Josh. And Josh, I appreciate your regular attendance and the way you cover women's basketball at K-State and the Mercury as well. Anytime you have transition, you have the potential of having roster turnover, but in making the decisions that we make in athletics, we're making the decisions in what we truly believe is in the best interest of the program and the best interest of the student athletes. And we do strive to provide a world-class student athlete experience, and experiencing success on the court or on the field is part of that experience. And really that comes back to why we made part of why we made the decision. We just really felt like, although we played well the last couple games, that we overall, I just wasn't confident in the trajectory.
Corbin McGuire, Capital Journal. At what point did you feel that this is kind of the direction you wanted to go?
Thank you, Corbin. Well, it's really been a process over the last month of trying to discern what the right way to support the program and move forward and get better. Frankly, to be honest, I never foresaw this day. We did I think 2 different contracts, new contracts for Coach Patterson since I've been here, and I always thought we'd be doing another one at some point, and I didn't think we'd be in this position, but. As the year unfolded and you kind of look at where we've been over the last 5 years, it just didn't feel right about the transition, and I felt like that it was time.
Kellis Robinette with the Wichita Eagle and Kansas City Star. When you said this was an incredibly difficult decision, is that at all because she had been here so long that maybe part of you thought she deserved more time to fix things?
Well, I never desire to change coaches or staff or whatever. I mean, we want to get better with who we have, and we think we have great people here, and that's been one of the strengths of the program is really, really solid coaches. And certainly Deb Patterson is an outstanding basketball coach. She's a great human being, and she's been a good leader for this program. And those are the things that makes it really hard. But it's hard for everybody. Obviously, it's hard for student athletes, and it's hard for the coaching staff. So, decisions that are easy really aren't decisions, right? And this was a decision that required considerable thought and examination and discussion with some folks inside the program, and really trying to be measured and not rash, and in evaluating kind of where we were.
Eric Stone with KMAN and PowerCatGameDay.com. With the overall achievements that Coach Patterson did have, how much more attractive is the K-State job on a national level as you begin this search for a new coach?
Thanks, Eric. Well, I believe this is an attractive job, and this is a university where we've invested $125 million in new facilities really in the last 3 months. We got more, last 3 years. We got more to come. We've got, I'll say it again, that basketball training facility for women and men is, I think, one of the finest facilities in the country. It is a completely equal facility. We have tremendous fan support here. Even when we struggled this year and went 5-13 in the conference for the second year in a row, we still have crowds coming to our games that care about K-State basketball and care about these student athletes and want to support K-State and want to be successful. And those years are not too far in the rearview mirror, even though they precede me when we filled this place up. And so those things and the fact that K-State is one of the 15 winningest programs in the country in the sport of women's basketball, was the 13th to get to 800 victories, I believe, when we beat Nebraska a few years ago, has won Big 12 championships, really has competed at the highest level, produced WNBA players. I mean, those things are the things that are attractive about prospective coaches, and we'll work very hard to find the person who's the right fit for K-State. And for the person that's the right fit, as evidenced by the tenures of most of our head coaches here, this is a place where you can come be successful for a long time and feel good about a great community that really does support intercollegiate athletics.
Brett Regan of Powercat Illustrated, and is there a specific timetable that you might have as to when it would be ideal for you to hire a new coach?
Well, Brett, we'll move very quickly. I can't promise it'll be 100 hours like the last time we went through one of these processes, but it will be as expeditious as possible. It'll be very thorough, but we will move to get this thing done just as soon as we can. You know, when you have student athletes who are 18 to 22 years old who are going through a transition like this, it's a very difficult time, and it's a time of great uncertainty. And so just like the last time we went through a transition, we want to minimize that time of uncertainty for the student athletes so they can begin the next step and the next step of the process.
And could you maybe discuss the reaction to the meeting on Friday from Coach Patterson?
We met Friday night back at the team hotel after the game, and Coach Patterson was extremely professional, as you would expect she would be. Jill Shields was with me for that meeting as well, and obviously she's a competitor and doesn't like to lose games, and this was not something that I believe she desired, obviously. So, but she was certainly very professional, as you would expect she would be.
Cord McGuire, Capital Journal again. When and how was the team informed of this, and what was maybe their reaction?
Thank you. The team was the staff met with the team this afternoon, and we felt that was important for the team and the staff to meet together. It's a close bunch, and then I met with the team along with some of our administration after that meeting with the staff.
At this point, do you foresee a clean break from everyone on staff, or, I mean, anyone on staff be considered for this position?
Well, certainly in terms of as the head coach or as an assistant coach, Josh? Any position. Well, there's not anybody in that building that I wouldn't recommend around the country for a women's basketball position. It'll really be up to the next coach as to whether or not who they want to retain or are unable to retain, because the next coach is likely to bring at least a couple support staff members with them. But I think they'll all have that opportunity. As far as the head coach, it's an open search, and we don't have any preconceived candidates other than we want someone who operates with the highest level of integrity and knows how to recruit and knows how to coach.